Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are well. Today we are going to play with some paper rose etched pansies. Now there's two sets. There's set 1 and 2 and we're going to play with both of them. I'm also playing with this Sending Love and Hugs. I've cut this out, as you can see, 3 times. I've got just some grey cardstock for the shadow and I'm going to layer those all up to provide a nice little bit of dimension. I'm going to let you know in parts of this video I am going to be a little bit low. You can still see what I'm doing, but it is a little bit low. But I was so engrossed in what I was doing. I was loving how this card turned out. So I hope you do as well. So that's all ready. We've got our pansies and they're all die cut out. And I've got all the little bits and pieces and I'm going to show you how to put these together. It's really, really simple. I don't have any pansies in my garden, so I googled, and even today I went to the garden shop with a friend, just pure coincidence, and I saw the array of different colors of pansies. When I googled them, this color combination popped out. It is meant to have that white strip, but I decided that I didn't like it so much, so I'm going to go over it with the B21. So I'm going to have B39, 37, B24 and B21. You can see me, I've just gone over the top. The B39 is very, very sparing. I'm literally at the very end just doing a few little flicks upwards just to provide that a little bit of definition, a little bit of interest. As I said, I've got the little space in the middle that, as I said, it's supposed to be white, but I decided I didn't quite like it, even though I loved the pictures. So I just went over it once to just provide a little bit of color combination. Now the petals that we've got here, most of them, not all of them, and yeah, I pretty much don't need to do any of them. I think most of them I'm only going to hit them with the B24 and the B21 because you ain't going to see it. You're not going to see it whatsoever by the time I layer it up behind. So that is good enough. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue just either side of the petals. And the center is going to stick in that middle bit. So it's going to have something to hold on to. All my pansies are going to be colored the same. So sit back and relax and enjoy. The leaves are quite a bright color, but there's a lot of detail on these pansies. I didn't particularly go with any of the detail, but you absolutely could. The center of the flowers do have little bits and pieces that come out. On the whole, there's one there you can see on the screen. It lost its little middle bits, but most of the others I totally ignored that and just colored it. And our little flowers are going to have a yellow center. For the one that I'm missing my center bits, I'm just going to wing it. They're quite small and no one's really going to know. So that's just going to be a little bit of fun. I think in the end I had about 4 or 5 pansies. I can't remember, it was a little while ago. 4 or 5 pansies. I don't use all of them, and if you've seen any of my other videos on my channel, I'm going to cut them up because you spent time coloring all these things. If I can save a couple that I can use for something else, I'm going to do that because they're really, I love them. They're just gorgeous. So, and I just don't see the point in wasting die cuts or ephemera pieces or any of that sort of stuff behind a sentiment if I really don't have to. So I'm going to trim that off. So here is my center. Now my first one, I didn't like it as much. So we've got YR15, YR13, but honestly it's not going to matter because it's just going to provide some variation between our two. So I tried to go over it with the N1, and what I will do later on, I think I hit it with a little bit of N3. That's the part I regret. I liked to keep it down to N1. Saying that, it's not bad. I just rather the N1 than the N3. This is a little one. This is one I'm going to hit with the N3 actually. Because you can see through my little centers. So here is my 4. You can see they're all a little bit different. I've still got some more pansies to go, but what we're going to do now is color in some of our leaves. Now there's 2 different type of leaves. And if I remember correctly, 1 leaf in one and 1 leaf in the other one. I've got G28, G07, G14, and I'm actually going to come in with a G12. And again, I'm going to go over that twice. So my centers, it's quite a bright little leaf, but we're going to trim that off, and we're going to use little bits and pieces. Both leaves are colored the same. I've kept it really, really simple. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. We're just going to keep that nice and just the same. Just keep it simple. And there is my 2 leaves all finished just about and ready to go. So the centers are really, really dark. There we go. So here is another one of pansies. I think that one, yeah, I did color that one, but you just don't see it. Once we put the center piece in, you're not going to see it. The center pieces do fit in quite well. And I don't think there's any rhyme or reason or nothing to, don't stress too much about your petals. Just put them wherever you see fit. There may be a theory behind it, but I don't think it matters. The centers are really actually very, very easy to add in because they do slot in like a puzzle piece, especially if you don't twist your hand when you're taking it back out once you've figured out where it all goes. That's handy. So here is our 5. So again, I'm going to add some glue and glue our shadow to our words. And I just had a little bit of stray, I want to call it hair, but you know, the stray bits of cardstock, when you run it through your die cut, sometimes you get that. And so I just use just a pointy. I actually use tweezers, but anything will do, just as long as it has a point, and you can clean that up. Here is the pansy surgery. As I said, you've colored all these things, use them. And don't be scared to trim them down. So I'm just trying to figure it out where I wanted everything. So I've just got that tacked onto a little bit of foam. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. It's pretty simple with these little flowers just to tuck them in because we've put foam on the word. So it makes it really, really easy. As I said, this is where I'm going to get a little bit low. You're going to be able to see, but the whole card is not in frame. I do apologize for that. But I was in the mood. I was in the zone. So leave a comment down below if you get like that as well. Especially the people that create videos. If you get in the zone and then you sort of finish and you go, did I go too low? Because you're so engrossed in what you're doing. So majority you're going to see exactly what I'm doing, but there's going to be a couple of times I think. So we trimmed that one off. I think every single one of them I've trimmed off a little bit. So at this point I've pretty much used 1, 2, 4 flowers. I can't remember how many of the leaves I had, but I know I had leftover leaves. Put it that way. I know I had leftover leaves. So I've got a little bit of foam just on the top, on the tip of that leaf. Bit of glue on the bottom. Tuck it in. And that's going to give me a little bit of dimension and lift the front of the leaf up a little bit. This one's really going to have a lot trimmed off. And we're just going to make him nice and flat with just a bit of glue. So really there's only little bits and pieces, like the wording is raised up, that leaf, the tip of that leaf. I feel like there was a pansy that I may have missed, that I had a tiny little bit, again like the leaf. So you can see there lots of little bits and pieces left over. One more flower. Lucky last that we're going to do is put a little bit of the clear crystals, and I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to, once I stop fighting on where it's going to go, a little bit of clear glue just to adhere those down. And that's pretty much on my card. I hope you are well. Oh yeah, I forgot the tittle. And I nearly did when I made the card. I forgot the tittle at the time, so the tittle. This is a little bit of trick that I do. I've still got it all connected into the die cut piece, and I'm just adding a little bit of glue and sticking it down. So that's it. That's my card. I hope you're well. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.